Hi everybody, my name is Adam Palmer and welcome to my channel. This is quite a bit different from the usual kinds of videos I upload to my main sort of uploading channel, which is Model Railroad Operations. I thought recently that I got a lot of just sort of things on my mind, things I might want to discuss, things I might want to put out there just to kind of show how I feel about certain things and my thoughts and opinions on others and what have you. And I just thought that that sort of style just wouldn't really fit in with the Model Railroad Operations YouTube channel, which is centered around operations of model trains. So I decided I'd upload this to my other channel, simply titled Adam, because that's the channel I mainly use to watch videos because I pay for YouTube Premium on that channel and what have you. So that's the channel I use to watch videos and subscribe to other channels and so on and so forth. So I just decided I'd upload this video here just so that I can have another place to put my content out. So for the topic of this first video, I'd like to talk about media that has aged poorly, be it YouTube videos or other online stuff or TV or film or what have you, literature, and the preservation of history and the importance of preserving history. Now, you may be wondering, how I came up with this sort of idea. And the answer to that came on the 5th of January this year when I first learned of the Call Me Carson drama. Now, I understand that I might be a bit late on the bandwagon for this. I don't really know everything about what's going on. I mean, I know the basic sort of word of mouth facts that have been going around and whatnot. But to tell you the truth, in the end, once it started heating up and I realized this wasn't just some joke, you know, I, I just, I just, I just stopped, unrecommended all of his videos that were showing up on my feed and just kind of said like, okay, I'm gonna give this a rest until it's resolved or whatever. So I don't know exactly everything that happened, but I'm not going to get into what I know either because I think you all know kind of at least the gist of what it was. But anyways, I digress. So so I'm going to be honest here, and I think those of you who watch this video can probably agree that you know prior to this drama coming out, I was a big Carson fan. I thought he made funny content. I thought he was an amusing person. I thought it was just a interesting character. Then all this stuff came out, and and needless to say, I was quite shocked and quite appalled at what was happening. And as a matter of fact, I wrote a song about it, and maybe I'll get into that at some point later, but that's kind of besides the point for the moment. So when it first came out, when the drama stuff first came out, I was getting ready to drive back to Boise, Idaho, from my home in the San Francisco Bay Area, California, to go back to my gap year program that I'm currently taking instead of attending college. And this is a whole different topic altogether, and I might do another video on it at some point. But basically, I realized that online school due to the pandemic was just really emotionally draining me, and I was just having a really bad time emotionally to the point where I think my family may have feared for my life a bit. But thankfully, I kind of took matters into my own hands and found this great gap program in Boise, Idaho, and I came up here and for the most part, I've been quite enjoying it. But again, that's kind of besides the point. I'll probably make another video about it. So the Carson drama. I first started seeing, quick videos about it, be it, Keemstar's drama alerts, whatever, about the initial allegations. and and at first I thought like, oh, it's maybe, oh, it's just some other, a cancellation attempt to like Jay Schlatt or Quackity or what have you, that they get canceled every other day on Twitter because of the nature of the sort of content that they make, and Carson was kind of along those lines. So I thought it was just another one of those things. But as things progressed, I slowly started to realize more and more that these are legit allegations, and he definitely did something very wrong and very bad, and just not just did some bad things. So all this happened on the day I was supposed to drive back up to Boise, Idaho. And what happened there? What happened there is that I decided to take a much longer route than what I normally take, as opposed to driving over Donner Pass and out through the Nevada desert to Winnemucca and then north on 95. I instead decided to go north on I-5 and then go east through Northeast California and Eastern Oregon, and to get to Boise. And because of the drama and how I was feeling about it at the time, I was really not in a good spot mentally. My gap year program had been teaching me a lot of meditation techniques and grounding techniques and so on and so forth to kind of help me with stuff like this, but I guess I just kind of forgot about them. And it really didn't help that this was leading right up to the inauguration, the presidential inauguration. And I'm going to try not to go too far into politics here, because I know how contentious of a subject that is, especially this day and age. But that's to put it lightly. Um, but anyways, just driving through Northeast California and Eastern Oregon, and I was originally there to try to see what kind of railroad stuff I could find, because there are some very interesting operations around like Alturas and Lakeside, and there was, of course, the Oregon and Northwestern at Hines, Oregon. But anyways, again, besides the point. As I was driving through Alturas and that sort of area, there was just a lot of like, well, just very right wing kind of feel, kind of posters and slogans and whatnot pasted all over the place, and the whole place just reminded me of something out of the stories of H.P. Lovecraft. Just in the terms of like, this is just some sequestered away bit of California, and it's like a thorn in the side of the liberal government or whatever. But okay, but well, let's move on from politics. So, but bottom line being, the Carson drama really was just the underlying fact of what made that drive so terrible. Thankfully, I got through it, and I was able to get back to Boise. And realizing that it was this drama that made this drive so terrible, I immediately got in contact with my therapists and people I knew that I could talk to, and told them like, hey, I had a really bad time driving today because of this drama. And this is kind of what the drama hit. This is what the drama is. These are the basic facts, and I really think that we need to talk about this. So that's just kind of what I told them, and thankfully I was able to talk to them about it. So through my therapy and through both the Gemba program and my regular psychotherapist back home, or psychiatrist, whatever. The technical term is psychotherapist, but I really don't mind. I was able to, talk about this and get through it, and just kind of accept it for what it is, and accept that this person did some really bad things, and and just kind of try to move on from it. Though, in all honesty, I don't know. It is quite hard to move on from something like that. Somebody who had such a sort of who could have this sort of exterior that he did, yet be this horrible person. It's just mind boggling. It's crazy. Like you hear the term cult of personality a lot, but this definitely applied in this case as well. But on to the next topic of this video here, and that is the preservation of history and how things that have aged poorly kind of relate to it. So, for a myriad of reasons, be it my religious background my or just my interest in history in general, it's I think it's of the utmost importance that history be preserved and retold in one way or another. And that's for both the good and the bad sides of history. Because I'm sure you've heard the term before. Those if we do not teach history, we're doomed to repeat it, or something along those lines. And for me, going back to the Carson drama, for me, I think the best, well, I don't know if you call it best, but the thing that immediately pops in my mind when I hear about when I think about the drama is the atrocities of the Third Reich during World War II and the Holocaust and the war crimes and all the horrible things that they did. However, we still teach this history. We still teach this history to classes. We still talk about we still talk about Auschwitz. We still talk about the experiences of Anne Frank. We still talk about what else? I mean, we still talk about what the Third Reich did because we must educate further generations about those atrocities, lest we're doomed to repeat them. Like we show all these horrible bits of footage and show off all these atrocities committed by various groups of people throughout history because it's how we preserve that history and how we learn, well, not to repeat it. And so I feel, while maybe not necessarily the same like level of absolute severity and just human depravity that those events come to mind, I think the same applies to things like YouTube videos or TV shows or movies or books or whatever that just haven't aged well, that society has moved on in one way or another from. And these are, and the primary example I'm going to use here is Call Me Carson, but mainly because of my personal sort of, because I used to watch him. So, but another example could be such as Filthy Frank, which which YouTube is actively trying to delete from the platform, but thanks to his fans, videos and such are being re-uploaded. And that's kind of what I'm getting at here. And this whole conversation really was actually spurred on by a dream that I had, like while sleeping. And in this dream, I was at a shopping center in my hometown, and I accidentally click on an old Call Me Carson video. I think it was something like the highlights of a stream that he did or something like that. And in the dream, the top comment on the video was something along the lines of of a certain line that he said made the commenter very uncomfortable given the context of what's happened. However, at the same time, the commenter also says to please make sure that this video is backed up and re-uploaded, being that when YouTube ultimately goes in and deletes his channel because of the things that he did and what have you, that these videos will be able to be posthumously re-uploaded for the sake of preserving history. And that's just kind of what I'm getting at here. Like, like these videos and these YouTubers that haven't aged well, people that haven't aged well, media in general that hasn't aged well. I at least believe that lest people be doomed to repeat the mistakes and crimes and bad things that these people did, we must preserve this history. Things like keeping channels up as a form of preservation of this content. Yes, the content itself may be detestable. Yes, we may despise it. But it's important nonetheless that future generations learn about it and know what to and know what not to do in these situations or in these sorts of contexts. So that's just kind of what's been on my mind lately. I'd like to thank you for tuning in and watching through this video. I understand this could be a very difficult topic for people to grapple with or contend with or deal with, but I just thought I'd give my thoughts and just kind of see where they go, put them out there. Maybe somebody thinks the same way as I do, and I understand that, and I understand that maybe I may have missaid some things, and maybe I overstepped a few boundaries, and to that I want to say that I'm sorry up front, and I'm sorry up front about talking about these sorts of topics, and I'm sorry for seeming like I'm coping, because I mean, in a way I am, but I'm sorry for, you know, maybe you're just trying to move on from this whole thing that happened, and maybe I triggered some memories, and I apologize for that. But either way, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for sitting through this whole thing, and thank you for bearing with my commentary, despite my rather, well, basic setup. I might make some more videos like this in the future on this particular channel, but hopefully those topics will be a little bit less heavy in nature. But again, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.